this is, again, the question we go back to ask, is there a good coup or not? Thailand had a good coup in 2006, some people said, overthrowing Thaksin. But now, people go back to look at that saying, well, if you can remove a leader unconstitutionally, maybe we can also topple the current government unconstitutionally. So it's an interesting question here. Okay, we will start with this one about Thailand at a polity imploding, because Thailand is something we can learn in Taiwan. Hopefully, after this one, no one will confuse Taiwan with Thailand. This is a big problem we had before. Okay, Ling Yu, can you do? Bangkok.
Anti-government unrest spread to the rest of the country. The
Continue.
smoke that had hung over Bangkok's Jag skyline for 6 days grew thicker and more noxious. On May 19th, combat troops marched into the protest camp where a few thousand anti-government red shirts stragglers remained. Defiant to the end. Their main leaders went quietly to howls of disapproval from
Die-hard.
Demonstrators. But 13 people died and more than 80 were injured as the camp was cleared. Angry protesters torched their
Tire, that's the British tire. Okay, they use Y instead of I. Okay, I love the British. They have strange spelling, right? S-A-T-I-O-N instead of Z-A-T-I-O-N. Okay.
tire and bamboo
Barricades.
then set fire to the Bangkok Stock Exchange and Central World, one of Southeast Asia's biggest department stores.
Okay, so here, I think, look at the first word here. Thailand's right, a polity. What do you mean by polity? P-O-L-I-T-Y. Do you have any idea? This is the word, okay? We will talk about nation, political system, but polity is the word we use for from way back during the Greek time, okay? I think it was Plato and Aristotle, they used the word polity. It's almost like political entity, okay? Just this political unit, this political entity. So here, imploding. Now, what's the difference, Ms. Lin, between implode and explode? Oh, by the way, Dwight Howard exploded for 32 points today. Huh? We use explode. Okay, but what is it? Explode and implode? Explode, you understand. You also, have you heard of this torpedo hitting South Korean ship. Chong'an, okay, Tian'an Jian. Okay, now that one, someone said, well, maybe it's imploding, means somehow disintegrated from inside. Okay, so implode is a little bit more like a Chinese word would be what? 内爆. Yeah. Yeah, but even why I don't understand what is 外爆.
Because implode is 内爆, so explode.
So implode is a good husband. 抱他太太内, right? Explode is a bad husband. 抱他的外面的. I'm sorry, it's this ball, right? Okay. But even this 内外, I don't understand. Okay. I think implode is more like disintegrated. More like 中文 will be what? 分崩离析啊. Almost like that. Just, yeah, something like that. Okay. Don't ask me. So this is an anti-government registered protest clear from Bangkok. Okay, unrest spread to the rest of the country. Smoke. Now, Jack skyline. What do we mean by Jack? Jack is not like mountains. Right? So which means you don't have the same skyline. Okay, where do we find the same skyline? Like the same height. Like you go on this street, you find out all the buildings are about 14 stories high. Do we have that kind of skyline? Usually what we have, I'm not very good architect, right? People will, this is like a chart, huh? So, this is what we call jack, right? But some streets have, one line there. I'm thinking Songjianglu in Taipei. Most of the building, if you want, it's like 14 story high. But right now, I don't think people will build only 14 story. Before, it's in Europe, a lot of places, they're very, strict on this building line. So, every building is the same. Okay? But is that good or this one is good? Which one is good? This is better, right? More artistic. The other one is so uniform. Okay. Now, Ms. Lin, do you think the Russian armies remind you of the rebels in Chinese history, like burn the city and left? Yeah, like 安史之乱 or 李自成进京. Okay, they just burn, black smoke. Ooh, building burn. 中文叫什么？有点叫什么？烧。Yeah, something like that. Okay, so here, grew thicker and more noxious. What do you mean by noxious? It's not good for inhaling, toxin. Not good for your health. Okay, so 有毒了. Okay, almost like the black smoke. Burning tire. I went to Africa to observe election. A lot of time they do burn tires, okay, because that's the only thing they can find, to burn. To protest, what else do you burn? You don't burn wood. You burn wood for your own stove, right? Cooking, and what else can last longer? Okay, so as an election observer, they will say, protest. The politicians never care about us. We have no running water, no electricity. So they burn, and then, we cannot go because they just, maybe put a tire in the middle so our car cannot go through, and then we have to step down and listen to their complaint. Okay, and after that, we said, can we go there? And should we remove? We will let the politician know, who are we? We are international observer, right? But that's how they try to, get. So burning tire, very popular way of demonstration. Have you seen, Ms. Lin, have you seen enough tire if you want to protest against our government? That's something we can do. It's a little bit like a rotten egg. You have to, in a protest, you have to buy the rotten one. Because if politician like Ma Ying-jeou is hit by a fresh egg, he just wipe it out, no problem. But if it's a rotten egg, that's a different story. Okay? So you have to buy the rotten eggs or using the tires, really bad. So noxious. Okay? Troop march into the protest camp. Few thousand anti-government straggler. Okay, what do we mean by straggler? Straggler is just people have nothing to do, basically. What do we call? Just hanging around. 游荡, or I think just roaming around. Okay, so that's straggler. Just few of them remain. And then defiant. Okay, this is a word again. Defy. I told you the word before. What do you mean by defy? Defiant. Like my niece, long time, my niece, I think, maybe my niece, defying against her father, my brother, by choosing her own marriage, not listen to the parents' recommendation. That's defying. That's not defying. That's just independence, Okay. Okay, so what would be defying? Oh, how about this one? Little kid. Okay, another niece of mine. Only 1 year old. Okay, she doesn't want to eat vegetable. And we were taking care of her at the time. So my wife feed her vegetable, and she would not eat. So finally, my wife said, you have to eat. So she eat there. And then put that vegetable for 1 hour. Not swallowing down. That's what we call defiant. Okay? That's defiant. And also this girl right now is, I think, 1992. So, wow, 1992. Yeah, she's 18 now, right? Almost 17. And she doesn't wear skirts. She always wear pants. Okay? So when we went to visit her when she was elementary school kid, I think, my wife tried to buy her something, like a Barbie or something. She wanted a toolbox. Okay? Hammer. So defiant. Okay, that's the word we call defiant. Or independent. Independent. Not swallowing down the vegetable. 这个叫中文是什么？抗。中文是什么 ？defiant。你们的字典怎么讲？挑衅的。你看，that look I remember. So what? You cannot force me to swallow. Okay. So that's defiant. Okay. And okay, we have a word here. I think most of you like. When the leaders laugh, people haw, means people just shout at them. Cowards! Right? The leaders say, well, we're not going to do it anymore. But some of the protesters show disapproval. Die Hard. You say, wow, Die Hard. I love that movie, Die Hard. What do you mean by Die Hard? D-I-E-H-A-R-D. 很难死. What does that mean? Die hard. Okay, sometimes we use that for someone like a die-hard fan of certain people. For example, do we have any die-hard fan of Da Bing in Taiwan saying, no, he never used drugs. I trust him. I have faith in him. He will never use drugs. That would be a die-hard fan. But most of you don't even know who Da Bing is. So what else? What else? What a good example. Okay, how about this one? Do we have a die-hard fan for Kansas City Royal baseball team? Always at the bottom, right? But every game, you're a season ticket holder. You go to every game, and then every year you think your team is going to win. Or, the best example is Chicago Cubs. Since 1908, they haven't won. Okay, more than 102 years now. Right? So there are a lot of diehard fans died already, right? But they still go to they still believe in their team. Okay, that's what we call diehard. Means your passion is very difficult to die. Okay, that's what we call. It's hard to die. Okay. Okay, so diehard. So diehard demonstrators means very strong, never give up, that kind of demonstrators. Or do we still have people, we have people in Taiwan who are diehard supporters of our former President Chen, right? So, he's sending back like $30 million, and people say, I demand his immediate release. People say, but wow, he has, so much more. He is sending back like maybe 2% of his the money. Yeah, but 2% is is a thing to come. This is a good beginning. This is a goodwill from his side. He should be released. Those we call diehard fan, right? So diehard supporter. You understand diehard, okay? It's not this separate word, okay? I think Arnold diehard is a little bit different, right? Okay. 13 people died, more than 80 people injured. Angry person torched their tire. Oh, I love to torch and bamboo barricade. What do you mean by barricade? Ms. Ling, do you know the word barricade? Barricade basically like, do we do that here in Tsinghua? In a way, it is. The next building is kind of barricaded. 围起来了. Okay. So that's but in any kind of protest, they love to do that, right? Which means you're going to fight. Set fire to Bangkok Stock Exchange. Oh, that's evil. Stock exchange is evil. Burn it. Right? That's the symbol of capitalism. Burn. Okay? Burn, burn, burn. Okay. So, and then Central World, one of the Southeast Asian department store, biggest. Okay. This is Blue Wave, I think. 17 years ago, I went to Bangkok. I live in a hotel called Blue Wave. And that hotel is at one end of this big complex. It has movie theater, department store, shopping center, and supermarket inside. And, wow, Bangkok is hot. You don't have to go out. It's all air conditioned from one end to the other.
And you get to go from one to another building.
Yeah, it was just really nice, right? And now they burn. Oh, I don't know why. But it's a nice place, But you have to remember, this is, to the northeast people from the countryside, Bangkok represent evil. Okay, next one. Yang Mingwen. Yeah. Tiananmen Square. No, rerun, not return, rerun. Predicted. Arson. Underpass. Sympathies. In retaliation. Okay. I don't know why when the government decide to do something, they always choose early morning or late in the evening. I remember my wife was a Russia person. Okay, a few years ago, she went to the Russia protest, and then she also had a strange way of doing things. Outside Taipei train station, she just lied down on the streets, okay, and won't budge. They, and then suddenly they have people, soldiers, I think, from Thailand, and then just carry her and then move. So but that was in the early in the morning, like 12:30 or 1 o'clock. But this is dawn, early in the morning. That's late night. 40 camp was methodical. What do you mean by methodical? You understand the word method? What is methodical? Have you ever been to Din Tai Fung? The way they wrap those dumplings, that's methodical. Like, count, 21, 40, okay. 21者, so you have to count, okay. That's what we call methodical. Everything is, according to the method you're supposed to do. Okay, do you do that? Like every morning in the morning, you first face your mirror, you brush and then, to comb your hair. The same procedure every day. Do you do that? Or, every day, depending on your mood, you do different things. Which one are you? Are you methodical or not? No? Some I cannot tolerate people who are so methodical, like my mother-in-law, like eating everything, following certain procedure. Morning, like toast, okay. Every day have to cut half of the things to put on the spread. We gave her something, she always refused half of them, okay. Like eating banana, half. Eating orange, half, okay. Egg, half. So everything is so methodical. So that's the word. Methodical means very efficient, following the procedure. Okay. So the assault, like very efficient. The fortify. Fortify means the camp. Hey, people fortify with what? With barricade, with bamboos, with tire to protect them. But no, assault. And only scatter resistance. Sorry, what do we call? People have no inches of iron in their hands. 手无寸铁. No inches of iron in their hands. I think that's how you translate. How do you translate that one? Okay, unarmed. Okay, unarmed. So that's the reason they have no resistance. Only scatter. Means throwing a rock, maybe that will be resistant against the government. Hold up inside. Hold up means just dig in, stay in there inside, right? Mercifully not. Okay, it was not. Okay, the same rerun that people predicted means in Tiananmen you have tank ran over and people worry there will be more casualty, but it's not. So rerun, Miss Yang, what is a rerun? Do you find out like in Taiwan, every year there is a rerun of 大长今？重播有吧？是不是每年一定会固定放一次 ？And then 火花，还有什么？现在好像好久没看到冬季念歌了啊 ，Winter Sonata 啊 ，So I'm not sure. Those are rerun. Okay. So rerun on television. A lot of this air again. So repeat. That some people predicted, but most protesters took shelter in a temple. Now, Ms. Yang, if there is a conflict, where do you think, in Western countries, they like to take where as a shelter? Church. So in Bangkok, a Buddhist country, a temple should be correct. In Taiwan, where? Our religion is karaoke, so go to the cash box 啊，钱柜就是我们的避难所，好吗？我们台湾信仰卡拉 OK 嘛 ，right? So, but seriously, Ms. Yang, where you're going to, if there is a conflict, or you think this place that you can find a sanctuary, where? In Taiwan? No, that's a physical. We're talking about something more than a bunker, okay, that you feel safe, right? The Catholic priest will not turn you over.
Just evacuation to mountains.
Oh, okay, some mountain area? Okay, that's the only way you can escape, huh?
The dangerous place is the safest place.
So where is it? Sogo, right? You hide yourself at Sogo. Or 101. 火车站, Taipei 火车站, Taipei train station. But this is supposedly that spiritual view that the priest or the monk will not turn you over. Okay? So this is true in the West, also in Buddhist Thailand, and they said they will herd it away means guided to where? To evacuation points. So you can, I think the first thing they do, don't you think they should take off their red shirts? We have 2 red shirts army people here. We have Ms. Strong and, just knowing that I'm going to talk about red shirts. So here we have 2 red shirts students here. But if you want to evacuate, I think you have to take off that red shirt. So people know. Evacuation. You understand what is evacuation? So, for example, a few years ago, when we have Taiwan Strait crisis, the Americans sent aircraft carrier to Taiwan. Some people say, oh, they're coming to help support Taiwan. Then people said, no, they are evacuating their own national. 他们是来撤离美侨、撤侨用的不是来支援台湾的。But then people said, but why are they sending an aircraft carrier with the name Independence? They must be supporting Taiwan independence 美国那个派到台海危机的时候派来的这个航空母舰叫做独立号，显然支持台湾独立 right? Okay, so evacuation. Okay, so that's evacuation points. Okay, I think where do we have? Maybe in Taiwan will be somewhere. If you want to evacuate, will be port train station, those will be the places. Okay, security force had overwhelming force on their side. Means they have, we call military superiority over the other side. Outskirt of the camp. What do you mean by outskirt? 外群。什么是外群 ？Skirt. 外围. Okay, so what would be a better word to use here? We said Tsinghua University used to be on the outskirt of Hsinchu City, but now it's in the middle. Right? Am I right? Hey, Tsinghua, before the first highway, it's in the outskirt of Hsinchu City. And there is nothing between Tsinghua and Zhudong before. Okay, after the first highway, just a lot of things, the science park and everything. I remember as a little kid when I came to Hsinchu, like Tsinghua is like going to the 郊外, okay, from Hsinchu 火车站, right, from the train station to Tsinghua. So, right, so outskirt, where will be an outskirt of Taipei now? People will say, you go to visit some places in Taipei. Oh, say, this is on the outskirt of Taipei. Yangmingshan, Danshui. Okay, I think those are. I'm not sure where I live right now. Muzha, still consider outskirt? Maybe.
A little bit in Taipei City.
Well, I just moved from Muzha to Taipei Center. And people will say, where are you? I said, I just moved to Taipei City. They said, I thought you live in Taipei City. I said, but I live in Muzha. Muzha is Taipei City. Right? But to us, at least growing up in Taipei, what Taipei City means, the old Taipei City Wall. Do you know how small that it is? Yeah, so you have the East Gate by the 江开些 Memorial, 东门叫什么？景福门啊，立正门有没有听过立正门？南门、小南门还在，东门还在，北门还在。That's it, just that circle. Okay, so outskirts, kind of like outside the camp. And the riot flare means came out again along a main road that has seen the worst of recent fighting. Arson. Okay, Ms. Yang, what is arson? Do you know arson? Arson is a crime. When you have a fire, people always find out who set the fire. Right? Why the fire was, started. Maybe electricity problem, maybe something else. But a lot of times, it's caused by human being who purposely set fire, try to burn something. How many of you have your motorcycle being burned? No? Have you seen motorcycle being burned? I have seen a row of motorcycle being burned. That we will call arson. Okay? Where else do we have arson? Whenever our government has difficult time, removing some of the household from rebuilding, the park, like Higher Regent, Jinhua Jiudian. There is a number 13 and number 14 park. Okay. Lingshan Beilu, Lingshan North Road. You have two parks, and if people refuse to move. So one day, just, fire. We don't know what happened. Fire. Okay, burn. Okay, so that we will call government-sponsored arson. So you understand arson. Do you think arson should be a crime? Really? But what can people do if I'm so frustrated I cannot do anything? That's the only thing I can do. Burn something. You don't think this is? I'm so frustrated. I need to vent my frustration. No? Okay. So you don't. We have one student in my university who was so upset with professor not letting him pass his master thesis, he burned the building. Yeah. He's in jail. I'm sorry. He's in jail. Okay. Maybe he came out right now. I'm not sure. Okay. But I think some professors are very happy because those professors whose office were burned down. No. Their publication, they cannot be promoted. Oh, so other professors, okay, you're behind me now. Right? Oh, 政大 professor has gone through burning of their offices and then also being, flooded the office by water as well. So I have one colleague, everything she wrote for her promotion, to write a book for promotion, flooded. Okay, so that's good. Living in Zhengda is called what? The water is deep, and the fire is, hot. Okay, so that's good. So you burn. So you understand arson. Okay, but somehow CSI people can find out, what kind of elements you're using, what kind of material you're using to cause the fire. So they somehow know. But arson attack, okay, 纵火罪, which is a big one. I'm not sure it's in Taiwan, because I don't think in Taiwan we consider arson a technology. I think some criminals in the United States, they try to upgrade their skill, in terms of arson. So arson attack spread to new area, gun battle erupted. You understand the word erupt right now with also the volcano as well. Blackened. Underpass. Where do we find an underpass? Ms. Yang, do we find? What is underpass, overpass, Passover. Passover is 逾越节. Passover. It's a Jewish holiday. But which means, during the, what do we call? The Israeli people were slaves in Egypt, right? And God will curse the Egyptian household. But if you put the blood on top of your household, the devil spirit or something will pass over this, so you will be spared. So but overpass, you understand overpass? Highway, on top of, right? So underpass is going under. Do we have those underpass of highway? There is one, very strange one, from Jiaoda to, going under the first highway. There is do you know that one? Going, instead of turning right into Jiaoda, that gas station, there's a little lane going left. And then you go underneath the pass, we call underpass. 中文叫什么 underpass? 桥下。涵洞啊，不叫涵洞吧？涵洞是洞OK， 就是往下面走的路。对，有点像地下道，但是 highway 不应该一定是地下道，就是平的，也可能。Okay, underpass of the highway, right? So, beneath the highway, not far from a slum. Okay, do we have a slum in Taiwan? Ms. Yang, can you tell me whether we have a slum in Taiwan? (我们台湾有贫民区吗? Yeah, do we have one? I mean, we're so arrogant, we just don't want to admit. Right? Well, I'm not sure. My wife just told me this morning my office is like one. Okay, but where do we find slum? Yes, there's one, very close to 公馆. 中文叫什么? 不是在高速公路旁边， 公馆的那个，不是台北公馆。Oh yes, there is one. Remember, there is a highway going across the go to 新店, from 新店 all the way to 师大路. Okay, so underneath there is one. Where else do we find? Do we have one in 新竹?清华男生学生的宿舍 is one. Okay, I think you are pretty poor. So, okay, so here, that's a slum. Because staging their own rally everywhere. So, sympathies run deep in the northeast. Okay, will resort. Resort means use arson attack as retaliation. So, Miss Yang, have you thought about 杜甫 now? 烽火连三月 I think they're burning, right? So you're going to see a lot of, smoke, right? So are you thinking of receiving a letter from your parents? Yang Jiaxing. Yeah, next. Can you see? Okay. All this. Tasing Shinawatra. Elites, urban elites. Revere. Bhumibol. Okay. Root in the military coup means you can find the cause in 2006 when military took over. The prime minister at the time, Thaksin. Okay, so this is, you have to remember, Thai name is like Japanese name. You have to put the last name first, right? But sometimes we have problem with Japanese name. We think we should help them to reverse. And then it's wrong. Okay, totally wrong. Okay, so Thaksin is the last name, Shinawatra, and telecom tycoon. What do we mean by tycoon? Tycoon is someone who survived from a typhoon. No, it's not. But what is a tycoon? Jiangjun? No, it's not. Tycoon. Okay, I'll give you one. There is a book. I think it's called the Big Tycoon. So, tycoon is big business or rich people. We call tycoon. 中文叫什么？巨子。大亨。面包大亨。Bread tycoon. So you understand what a tycoon now. Rich people. He made his money out of telecom. What is a telecom? Basically, just like cellular phone, all those, right? Telecom, 电信业. I'm against Thaksin because I had some telephone stock of Thailand. I bought them when Thailand's telephone is very expensive, very difficult to get, just like in Taiwan. Get a line there costs a lot. So I invest in that company, and then suddenly you have cellular phone. All those traditional phone line useless. So my stock went from 100 baht per share to $10 per share. 10, okay, to 10 baht per share. So my worth is about 1/10 now. Okay, so don't you think I should be also, against Thaksin? Anyway, he is a telecom tycoon. Okay, means he made a lot of money from the telecom industry. He was removed from power, and then he went to exile. So, Ms. Yang, what is exile? Okay, so exile usually go to other countries. Whoever will take you, right? So, for example, Marcos, do you remember this name, Marcos, of Philippines? He went to exile where? I will go there as well, Hawaii. I mean, come on, send me to Hawaii for exile. Okay? Now, Napoleon, on the other hand, went where? Napoleon always said something like this, right? Huh? Napoleon will say, hey, I was so good before I saw Elba. Okay, that's the first exile he had. 叫什么？埃尔巴岛还是什么？厄尔巴岛？厄尔巴。Okay, but do you know why this is a famous line? Because you can also read this. Able was I ere I saw Elba. Okay? Able, A-B-L-E, was I ere I saw Elba. Okay? So that's the one very famous here. So you understand exile. And some countries have this internal exile. I love this one. Like South Korean leader Chun Do-hwan, Chun Do-hwan, he put himself in a mountain, remote mountain, Buddhist temple, internal exile, right? He sent himself to internal exile. So, but anyone, Ms. Yang, do you know where he is in exile? Thaksin. Dubai. The 7-star hotel. I'm not sure that's in exile, but the Russia continued to support him, and they asked for new elections. They present themselves, say we are the poor people and from the countryside, and we don't like the urban elite who are closer to the revere. Ms. Yang, what is revere? Respected. Okay, now, here in Chinese emperor, we have a revere title as well as a reign title. So, for example, reign title, what do we call? Like 康熙、顺治、雍正. That's a reign title. But revere title is what? Oh, pretty. You don't remember how do we call them? 清什么帝？清朝已经不用帝。清圣主 ，OK。还有呢？清雍正是乾隆，清高宗 ，OK， 清什么？清世宗，清高宗，然后呢，像光绪皇帝叫什么？清德宗 德。Okay, so what do we mean by revere title? People try to remember how to characterize their reign. 就是后世的人来纪念他们，所以汉武帝因为so many military campaigns, right? 但是汉武帝是有什么 reign title? Do you remember? 我记得我气得要命，又是什么元首？他改了好多次，很无聊。有一个元首，我记得有个元首。Remember this one? 所以现在搞懂了。Always remember. 明思宗 people remember him. 崇祯皇帝无能 right? But people say we remember you. Okay, 想念他 last emperor. Okay, so let's revere. And reign title is the emperor said, I want my reign to be like what? Okay? So, for example, there is a Qing emperor called 同治. 同治, why? He's saying, you know, I probably have to run this country with my mother. 慈禧嘛，要跟慈禧一起吧，所以一统治理。来，不同治叫什么宗？清什么宗？不是啦，德州叫光绪嘛。那同治帝呢？同治皇帝？都不知道了。同治叫什么？叫清什么？都不知道了。是什么？清什么宗？光宗，是不是光？不晓得。Okay, let's take a break and think about it. So the revered king of Thailand, Bhumibol, and his family, 陈云清. Okay. Just a second, let me finish this one. The protests have been their way of venting, like I just said. Burning is a good way, venting. Or what do you do if you want to vent your frustration if you're working for Foxconn? 富士康. There's a room so you can hit something, right? Okay, that's venting frustration. What else can you do? In Hong Kong, you can find those enemy doll, right? Putting needles. Do you like that one? I think our Haitian friends should know about. Get a puppet or something. Then you put needle in there. Your enemy. Okay. So that's one way of dealing with venting your frustration. Okay. But nowadays, people vent their frustration by going to the internet or Facebook and then put their picture with their ex-girlfriend on that. Okay. Yeah. So this is also a lot of division here. Okay, Ms. Chen, the Prime Minister. Abhisi Vijajiva. Okay, remember this one. Hastily. Okay, not hastily. Hastily. Okay, so the Prime Minister of Hisi failed to make any headway. What do you mean by headway? Basically, going forward means progress. Okay, making any progress with Russians. He's on April 10. He sent troops to clear the site, and then 25 people died. But he also deserved credit for at least offering a compromise, saying, "Hey, I will have the election on November, a year before, his term end." Remember, this Congress was elected in 2000 at the end of 2007. So a 5-year means 4 years means 2011. So right now, 1 year early. But as a reconciliation package, it means he's willing to compromise. So the question here, Russia, former title, the leaders of this UDD failed to grab the olive branch. Okay. What do you mean by olive branch? Right now everybody is, taking very good care of our health. We're all eating, olive oil, right? What do you mean by olive branch? Yeah, you understand branch, you understand olive, but what does that mean, olive branch? People show you. For example, when your parents are, having words, they don't talk to each other for 3 days, and then suddenly your father bring home, some roses for your mom. Okay, that would be an olive branch. You said there's no olive branch; they're just roses. But that's an olive branch. What does that mean? 橄榄枝什么意思? Yeah, saying, hey, let's have peace. Okay, basically, that's we call offer some olive branch. Or what would be something like between Tsinghua and Jiaoda, or between the Orlando Magic and Celtic, Boston Celtic. Oh, Boston lost today. That's an olive branch. No, that's not. Okay. What would be olive branch is something you offer saying, hey, I'm willing to have peace with you. Okay, so for example, if North Korea, right, just torpedo the South Korean ship, somehow you have someone come up and say, we're sorry, we're wrong. Okay, so that would be an olive branch. Have you seen the television on the North Korean news report lady? Oh, she is tough. Gosh, she is very tough. How many of you have seen that North Korean female reporter? I think, first of all, she will be out of job in South Korea and Taiwan because I think she's over 50 years old. Right? Do we have any female reporters, anchor ladies over 50? I don't think men can even survive after 50. 有报新闻是超过50岁的吗？主播没有了嘛？主播都是要40岁以下吧？啊，沈春华40多大概。他也不是，他还有报吗？啊 ，I'm not sure. Okay, so anyway, you should see that one. Okay, that North Korean anchor lady. Oh, so here, okay, so olive branch. Remember that word. Okay, so if nowadays, I think the best olive branch, if you have fight with your boyfriend, is send a text message, right? Just show one picture, face. That would be olive branch. Okay? So that's easy. Nowadays, it's much easier, don't you think? Leave a message or a text message. Huh? So trigger happy. What do you mean by trigger happy? Yeah, but it's not military. Trigger happy is someone who like to pull the trigger. Easy to. It's almost like in Taiwan, what we will say something like this: when you saw a shadow, you shoot. 看见黑影就开枪. Okay. In a way, it's almost like people who are not very what do we call, hesitant in shooting. They just like to pull trigger. Okay, so trigger happy means they are not reluctant to use force. Okay, we call.
But sometimes trigger happy used in military wars means you have permission to fire.
Yeah, but here it's not. Here we're talking about people who well almost yes, in a way you said they have the what do we call the free we call blank check to do whatever they want to do. Okay, but here it also means they are willing to shoot. They are not reluctant not to shoot. So that's the military and must bear some responsibility for their life lost. Okay. We have some legislators who are trigger happy. Whatever they saw, they just attack. Okay, so we have one legislator heard one name, and then immediately respond saying, "Oh, so and so is a gay." 李庆安听到那个什么姓涂的，结果搞错了，是另外一个涂，他以为是涂醒哲，就是 having like what do we call licking the ears of another man, right? But find out it's a different. So that's what we call trigger happy. It's like you heard something, you thought, wow, I have something, so I have to attack. Okay, that's what we call. Okay, next one. 林佑荣，许同丽，有在吗？谢宗浩 ，Yeah. Can you see? Okay. What attack? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yet even on May
18.
and 11-hour
Ceasefire.
ceasefire has appeared close, but mistrust on both sides proved impossible to breach, and the talks failed. In truth, this approach may have been doomed since widespread fighting erupted on May 13th after a
Resume.
army
Sniper.
ticket of General
Katia Sawadipo. Not Sawadika. Okay, but Sawadipo. Okay.
A rogue officer
Rogue.
rogue, a rogue officer who ran the Russia's security died on May 18th.
I think it's 17. Huh? Okay.
From duty, but not yet
Stripped.
stripped of his rank. He was
Honor. This is a British word, honor. There's a O-U.
honored with a funeral
Sponsor.
sponsored by the king at
Buddhist.
another reminder of how much rain is in Thailand.
Okay, so what do you mean by 11 hours? I think most of you do that. 11-hour negotiation. Like, okay, let's say, our legislature is the one, always did that. They have whole weeks, months to finish some legislation. They just couldn't do it. And then on the last day and then the last hours, they finally come up with something. So we call 11th hour. Okay? So you're rushing against time, and you come up with something. And then also, the 11th hour completion of application for NSC grant by university professors. Have you seen that? Not just you have this 跨年晚会. Most of the university professors on December the 31st is staying in their office and trying to rush because you have to send in before 12 o'clock because NSC will automatically cut. I have one friend who's sending, 2 minutes after 12, sorry. We refuse, being rejected. So, 你们要去看看各个国立大学12月31号晚上都在庆祝跨年，那些教授带着他们的助理、研究生都在写国歌会的计划。11th hour, okay? That's 11 something. Okay, we know that, they're still there, working. And then most of the professors are pretty ignorant about the, the filing procedure. So problem. Okay, so what you have professor still typing on their project, and then you have the assistant keep sending upload, we call, right, uploading things. So that's what we call 11th hour. Okay, 11-hour ceasefire had appeared. Ceasefire, stop fighting, appear close, but mistrust on both sides. Prove impossible to breach. Okay, here we have the nice word breach. Breach as a verb is to bring the two sides together, right? I remember there was a TV series. The two names is so good. They call one name, last name is character is called cross. The other one is bridge. A bridge to cross. Okay, so from cross to something. So bridge. And then talk fail. Doom. The approach already seemed to be doomed because of widespread fighting. And then also the army sniper. What do you mean by sniper? What is a sniper? S-N-I-P-E-R. Yeah, okay. So well, in the past, where do we find snipers? Let me put it this way. Where do we find them? Used to be trees, but nowadays I think 101, some kind of buildings, right? Yeah. Hollywood movie, a lot of them are on rooftop, huh? Right, snipers? Between the buildings. In the building. In the middle. Okay, there are some in the middles. Okay. And how about stadium? There are a lot of stadium from the maybe the mechanical rooms or something. There are some snipers, right? Maybe out from the movie theater will be someone from the showing side. So a lot of sniper. Here, pick off, General Katia. Rogue officer. What is rogue? R-O-G-U-E. Oh, rogue. 红模仿. Rogue states. The American call some country rogue states. Like North Korea, Iran, Cuba. Rogue. 流氓国家. 这个是流氓. We have a 流氓教授 in Taiwan, but this is a 流氓 officer, 流氓军官, okay, who ran the Russian security, means managed the security. He died, and then he was suspended from duty. What do you mean by suspension? Like we have a lot of military officers who are either into gambling or into prostitute. They're being suspended, right, from their active duty. So 停职, but not yet stripped. What do you mean by strip of the rank? Means 拔掉他的阶级 ，OK, strip the rank, so he was still a general. That's the reason he was honored in a funeral sponsored by the king. Isn't that strange? The king was on the other side, but the king had to sponsor a funeral for this rogue military officer because his rank is still there. So show you how much rank means in Thailand. Okay, I don't know that. Also, in academic community, rank is very important. Okay, like full professor is supposed to have a lot of authority, a lot of say in departmental meeting. I don't feel that, but one of my friend told me when he was associate professor before, he said he never thought he should apply for promotion of, full professor. He was just sitting there, writing everything he knows. I mean, just doing his research. And then one day, a full professor just pat him on the shoulder and say, hey, you can consider, bring up your promotion. You can apply now. Oh, okay, okay. No, but nowadays, all the assistant professors say, hey, I want to apply. You said, no, I don't think, with your publication might not be enough. Do you really want to do? That's my right. Okay. So rank is very important before, not anymore. Okay. Zhuang Weixiang. Yeah. By then?
By then, the guy has been military unit is trying to block off the sprawling protest site were attacked by stone-throwing
Jobs?
who brought along petrol bombs and firecrackers. Shadowy black flags, village show members also joined in, though fleetly, soldiers shot back without much
Restraint.
even at
Paramedics.
trying to bring out the wounded. Road junctions were declared live fire zones. The
Mayhem.
spread to other parts of the city. The military
Cordon.
appeared to be breaking as rations to find orders to stay away. Something had to give. In the end, it was overwhelming military force, not a political deal among the warring factions that won the day.
Okay, the die. Hey, the die. What do you mean by die? Had been cast. Oh, people who die have been carried away? No. What do you mean by the die? Do you play every Chinese New Year? Sipla! Do you do that? Sometimes. That's the die. Okay. Has been cast means what? 中文怎么讲？事已定局，就已经傻了。哎，对不起，4、5、6，结果出来是1、2、3。会不会玩？反正4、5、6最大了，就是3颗嘛。6、6、6，好。结果每次出来都是1、2、3。还或者2个6，一个1。1点啊，它是2个的，然后算那个另外那一个就是1点嘛，不是算13点哦。你看你比点的话，比那种 OK。So you understand the die had been cast means okay. I'm sorry, things had developed already. So military unit trying to block off sprawling. Okay, what do you mean by sprawling? It means extending, right? Just like people talk about, we talk about slum. And, some countries, especially in Africa, the slum just sprawled, continue to go. Okay, people just continue to add that. So the sprawling protest site means more, bigger. Were attacked by stone-throwing yopes. What do you mean by yopes? It's like a mob, but they are we call boys mob. B-O-Y, huh? Y-O-B, they say it's the reverse of B-O-Y. So it's almost like young mobs. So you have the young mobs throwing stone and brought along petrol bomb, 汽油弹, okay, and firecrackers. Suddenly this become very good. So buy some firecrackers right now. You can use in a protest movement. I still remember we throwing something and 现在都没有，现在你们还玩不玩炮过年？点了丢，就一点了炮，然后炸朋友这样子丢。You don't do that anymore. 不，就是你们哇，好玩啊？不是 ，No, you just throw into it, yeah. And then, also you 冲天炮 just shoot people's household, right? But not anymore, okay. Shadowy black clay military militia. It's like we don't know, 黑衣人, right? Members also join in. Fleetingly means they move really fast, like 神龙, 见首不见尾. Okay, so we don't know. But soldiers shot back without much restraint means 看到黑影就开枪. I think that's a pretty good description. Even at paramedics. So what is paramedics? Mr. John, what is paramedics here? Medics are just people who are helping out, but paramedics, basically in every, ambulance, you will have paramedics. 就是急救的医护人员. Okay, so paramedics. You wear something, people are not supposed to shoot you, right? Just like we are not supposed to shoot who else? In addition to paramedics, who are not supposed to be journalists. But look at the, 中央台, that female reporters, wearing a helmet, on the floor, on the ground, and, reporting. So it is dangerous because the military just shoot without restraint. And road junctions. Road junctions means, any kind of junction, just... And Thailand does not have all this kind of roads. Thailand has strange road. Okay, so the junction might be this. Okay, who knows? So here, the junctions, people set up live fire means. In Chinese, what do we say this? We say the bullets have no eyes. Right? That's what we said. The bullets don't have eyes. Okay, so you have to be, careful yourself. Mayhem. What do you mean by mayhem? Violence, chaos, confusion. Just bad situation spread to other parts of the city. And cordon. What do you mean by cordon? Usually you try to set up something, saying you can do this within this limit. So cordon means 围的一条线，围起来。OK， 中文什么东西我不知道啊？叫什么？哨线啊？哨界线。What's that Chinese? Like this? Okay, strange word, but you understand. This is just, like a protest, you have a certain area. Almost a little bit like in Taipei, if you go to Juling Cai's party, right? Singing something, so there's a line, So here, appear to be breaking as Russia defy order to stay away. They just keep coming in. And something had to give means you have to compromise. And at the end, Sorry, it's the military overwhelming force, not political dialogue or deal among warring factions. Now, warring factions, we understand, different factions against each other, but what is warring states? Warring states. Oh, I don't remember this now. Huh? 战国时代啊，多少 BC 到221嘛 BC， 来，记得吗？哪一年开始算是战国？春秋跟战国的分野是哪一年？哦，就是你历史很强，可是哪一年你知道吗？I don't know. I mean, it's a 5th century. I know there's somewhere, but I don't know. But I know 221. I think this one is correct, right? Okay, so warring states, spring and autumn, 春秋 Okay, warring states, 战国 Okay. 王义凯 Yeah, next.
As the bullets flew and the bodies fell.
Crocodile
Crocodile tears came from afar as Mr.
Taksin
Taksin
tweeted.
tweeted his sorrow to his followers. From his luxurious exile, he denied once again that he was giving orders to the red shirt leaders and urged everyone to rest peace. There is little doubt, however, that Mr. Taksin holds sway over the
Splintered.
squabble red shirt leadership. The 2 months protest would not have been possible without his deep pockets.
Vengeful will.
Vengeful will and the political network. Even though the red shirt cause has become much larger than him, and
Than him.
and his
Stubbornness.
seems to have undone the peace talks, despite his protestation.
Okay, so bullet flew, body fell. Crocodile tears. Now, what is crocodile tears? If you say someone like, no sincerity, you feel bad. Like, if, for example, right now, if somehow in Taiwan the DPP lost elections at the end of this year, and then a KMT said, I really want to see we have a healthy 2-party system. That's crocodile tears, right? Okay, so you understand crocodile tears, which means came from afar. Mr. Taksin tweeted, he also knows this, okay, his sorrow to his follower. So what do you think will be his message? I'm in Dubai. I'm having a good time. And, sorry. What is the message? I think it would be not very different from Sun Yat-sen.
It's like keep fighting for
For the republic or something.
like for the return of democracy in the
Okay, yeah. But I don't. Sun Yat-sen, when we had this next year, we will have the 100th anniversary of the Huanghuagang, right? And then what did Sun Yat-sen say after Huanghuagang? He was in the United States. He said, or Wuchang Qi, he was also in the United States. He said, I cannot be physically with you, but my spirit is with you. Okay, I love that one. My spirit is with you. But he's the founding father of the republic. He was not physically there. People die. Then he said, oh, all those people died. Yeah, I'm the only one left, so choose me. So Thaksin, the same thing. Okay, I think Thaksin would say, I cannot be physically with you. You are on a good cause. Keep fighting. 加油. Okay, so that's what he would say. I mean, the message, right? From his luxurious exile in Dubai, okay, he denied. He said, no, I was not giving order to the Russian leader. And he said, hey, please, everybody embrace peace. That's what he said. But little doubt that he holds sway, means he is the one who have the critical power there over the splinter. Splinter means a group, have splinter group, means factions, okay? 分裂出来的 groups. And then squabbling means they're fighting Russia leaders. Okay, so Russia itself, there's a infighting among the leaders, but Thaksin still can hold the sway, means can be decisive. 2 months protest will not be possible without his deep pocket. Okay, does he wear those real, we have those nice trousers nowadays. 台湾现在你们同学有没有穿那种很宽的牛仔裤，然后那个口袋到这里的，可以放一本书的？That's especially designed for people who like to read, carrying a book. 不是，就是这种休闲裤。那不是，它就是这个口袋特别大，可以放一本书。有看过？你们都没有人穿吗？You're not in fashion. OK. 真的？台湾没有流行啊？很多啊。我儿子就有啊，你们怎么会没有？你们真没看过这种很深的口袋 ？That's a deep pocket. That's what we call deep pocket. No, what do you mean by deep pocket? Rich people, I mean someone, money more, a little bit like something you can, just keep digging and there's always money there. We call deep pocket. Okay, so he has a deep pocket means he is rich. Okay, like Guo Taiming. Then why, people who prevent a suicide only got $800 Taiwanese. Foxconn. 富士康现在说，你成功阻止一次自杀案件，可以拿到800块钱台币的奖金。So what do? I would say, hey, I'm going to commit suicide, and you report. Okay, so you get $800, I get $4. Okay, can we do that? Say, yes, I want to suicide. I keep leaving message. I don't want to live anymore. And then you report, say, hey, I found this message. 那现在全部富士康都要自杀，到处发奖金。Okay, so Guo Taiming has deep pocket. I think this is what the worker should do, right? Because he has money to give. So that's one thing he has is a lot of money. The Thai people also has the same thing as in Taiwan. What do we call them? They call, you have to pay me to go to this protest. 走路工. Okay. Well, at least I think you should pay for the lunch box, don't you think? Right? I think people would consider that's reasonable. And then also the bus fare from northeast there. So that's so deep pocket, and then vengeful will means he want to take back his power. he want to take revenge. So his will is there. And then the third one, his political network. Okay, so all this help the Russian armies, even though the Russian cause means the fighting, the reason for their fighting right now is larger than Taksin. Okay, Taksin is still important, but his stubbornness seems to have undone the peace talk. So means maybe he didn't want to see a peace, because if there is peace, then he is being, we call, marginalized. If there continue to be demonstration, then he is very strong and useful. Chen Yijun. Okay. Chen Yijun. Next. Society fracture.
In April 2009, troops were also called in to restore order in Bangkok. Russian leaders got carried away by their own
Rhetoric.
and found themselves quickly out on the lake. Hero
Musikapong.
moderate Tassim follower recommended surrender instead. Tellingly, he left the Russian camp last week when it became clear that an hardliner led by Mr. Tassim would not accept Mr.
Abhisi.
Abhisi's his way. Mr. Eros behind the scene effort to bring the leadership back into the fort came to nothing.
Okay, so a year ago, we also have a protest. But at the time, the Russian leader also got carried away by their own rhetoric. So once you have this movement, it's difficult for you to control the mob sometimes. And then quickly found themselves out on a limb. What does that mean? Out on a limb. Out on a limb. Limbs is part of your body. Out on a limb, it means you are almost like hopping. Means you are not in full strength. Okay, you are what's the word here? Not deformed. You out on a limb is you have to do more in order to finish the job. So out on a limb, it's almost like running not with the full strength. Okay, so here, Vera. Moderate. What do you mean by moderate? 温和的. Okay. So, for example, in Taiwan, people will say, "Oh, English Thai is also a moderate." Huh? Her English is not very Thai. Okay, her English is pretty good. So, Tassin followed. He at the time recommended surrender. And this time, tellingly, is almost like, yeah, wow. Again, he's doing the same thing. He left the Russian camp last week when it became clear. Hardliners. Okay, sometimes we call hardliners, we call people who are hawkish. What do you mean by hawkish? 鹰派, dovish, the dove, 鸽派. Okay, so hardliners led by Tassin would not accept the peace plan. So he's behind the scene. What do you mean by behind the scene? In politics, 幕后的. Okay, so some people would say very important politicians behind the scene are doing things. Or in China, we have something like listening to the politics behind the bamboo screen. 垂帘听政 也是 behind the scene. Okay, effort to bring the leadership back into fold. Fold is like into the area to come to nothing. Fold 就是把圈内的把回到这个圈内 came to nothing means they don't want to negotiate. So you have problem here. Okay, this is a very good article. I hope you can finish, and then we will read one more on Korea, and then I want you to think about Taiwan, Korea, and Thailand, and think about, political warfare or crisis. Okay, so then you have to write your final paper on this, either one of the three situations. Okay.